Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5 Minute Reedmaker. If you are watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and click subscribe for me. That way you will always know when I drop a new episode, and it will make it easier for other people to find my channel and to become better reedmakers and happier musicians. Okay, having said that, I'm not actually going to talk about reeds today, more about reed management and really more about reed management in your mouth. Have you ever looked sort of down the barrel of a long note in your orchestra music and seen it tapering away and felt dread? Like, what if I can't hold it long enough? What if the reed just stops without me? What if I can't get soft enough? You can really get in your own head about this kind of material, this kind of that kind of game. And this came to my mind because yesterday I was coaching the youth orchestra, which are working with the oboists in a sectional. And they're playing the Unfinished Symphony, and first of all, like over and over again, long notes, tapered notes, and they would get sort of toward the end of the taper and then they would just kind of fall off. But they didn't really want to be off there. They wanted to keep going. But the reed chooses what the reed chooses. So this was a consistent problem for those youth orchestra kids. And the other problem that they had was just sort of a generalized feeling of raw edges at the ends of their phrases. I'm picturing like... to where all of the phrases just seemed to end like up, just like that. And so I thought maybe it would be helpful for me today on this episode of the 5 Minute Reedmaker to talk about how we polish the ends of our phrase by collecting the end of a note on the oboe. This is a difficult thing for everybody. Here in extremely slow motion, so like at the end of one of those long tapers, what I think about is this. I think about continuing to support the note with my air from my lower abs all the time. I'm going to keep blowing and keep applying pressure from low within my body the whole time and reduce the volume somewhere else, right? I'll reduce the volume with my throat. I'll reduce the volume with my intercostal muscles. That's not the topic of this talk. But when I am ready to end that note, I will collect it inside my mouth by saying, aum, aum. And really, this is just a way to come at the reed from all the way around it, rather than biting it, rather than anything else, rather than trying to like only open it from the sides. Aum. And like, I hope that over on your side of this camera, you are experimenting yourself. But here's what it might look like. Now, if you try to do this and you hear that the note goes sharp, that's too much in your aum. If you hear that the note goes flat, that's too much ow in your aum. Different notes in different registers of the oboe, different reeds, might necessitate a slightly different balance of ow to as you are collecting that note in your mouth. But every note can be collected. Maybe you're playing something very forte. Maybe you're playing that moment in Beethoven 3. Inside my mouth, aum, just a very, very quick aum right at the end of that high B flat, so that it doesn't feel like a raw, frayed edge of fabric, but rather like a finished, polished seam. You'll notice that you don't see my mouth going aum as I approach the ends of these notes. That's because as you get better at it, after you have mastered this and tried it a few times in a few different iterations, like that is a few different ranges of the oboe, a few different dynamic levels, you'll realize that you don't actually have to be so very about it. In the same way that, like, if you see me circular breathe, you don't see me go with a great big dramatic puffing of cheeks. It's allowed to happen kind of invisibly inside your mouth, but always having this sense of collection at the end of the note, whether your notes are going by fast, whether your notes are going by slowly. The end of every phrase gets collected in some way. Of course, you could end your note just with the tongue. Of course, you could end it by taking away the air and hoping. But the problem with either of those things, if you cut the note off with the tongue, it sounds cut off with the tongue. If you try to just take away the air and hope, some reeds that might work. But every day of playing the oboe is a different reed and a different situation. So because it is highly unpredictable, because I do not want to leave this in charge of the very last sound an audience might hear from me, because I don't trust any reed enough to actually rely on it to sound good at the end of the note. I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to take care of it every time by collecting the note, by saying Aum. So, give this a try at home. I hope that you will find it helpful. Please drop a note in the comments if you have a different way of thinking about this end of the phrase moment, this collection of the end of the note. And this has been a 5-Minute Reedmaker episode. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. And if you need to reach me to order reeds or cane, to pick up a copy of my book, The Happiest Musician, or to ask me a question that I could answer in a future 5-Minute Reedmaker, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.